So, NoFap and semen retention. We hear a lot about this on the internet. I guess if you are in the right sphere of influence, we hear about these things. I do anyway as a sex coach, and so I found this video and it is titled The Dark Side of NoFap. As a proponent of NoFap, as an extremely anti-porn sex coach, I was interested, what are these negative side effects to NoFap? What is the dark side of NoFap? Because I personally feel that I didn't really have any downsides and it was only positives for me. So obviously I was curious to see this video. So I have watched the video. I'm going to go over all of the points he makes, explain why these things are happening, if they are actually truly negatives in the first place, and yeah, go from there. I do want to say that his video is great. It's fantastic. Check it out. I will link to it in the description. This is just for informational purposes, explaining the phenomenons that he is feeling during his NoFap experience to the best of my ability. So let's get into it.
So the first thing that I've noticed is increased aggression and mood swings.
So the first thing that he notices is a bad thing, a con, is increased aggression and mood swings. And yeah, I felt this as well. And the thing with this one is that it is temporary. It is basically your body adjusting to the new you, the new feelings that you are getting, because when you have been addicted to porn, and porn basically kind of dulls everything around you and kind of puts a fog over everything, including your feelings, your intuitions, your moods. And so when you get rid of that, and your body starts coming out of it and your mind starts coming out of it, you start to feel things more strongly. So you feel these aggressions more strongly. You feel the mood swings more strongly. One moment you're extremely happy, the next you're depressed, having an existential crisis. And this is really just your body kind of getting used to feeling those things again. And over time, these things do diminish, because I felt them, and I know people that have felt the same thing, where one moment they're crying, the next moment they're happy, the next moment they're pissed off about something, and it feels like an uncontrollable rage. And yeah, it probably is somewhat of an uncontrollable rage, because your body has no idea what to do with what it is feeling. These emotions are basically too strong for you to handle right now. So it feels like this negative. It feels like you're changing into this person that just can't balance all these things in life. They can't balance their emotions, their moods, and you're just having these crazy mood swings. But it is temporary. It is an adjustment period. And I think the theme of this video is going to be that a lot of these things are basically going through adjustments. They are all adjustment periods, and you just have to give it time. Give your body time, give you time, really, to feel these things and discover what the appropriate response is for you in handling these things. All of these things are natural. Mood swings are natural occurrences. Aggression is a natural thing. It is just that these things have been dulled because porn has made you lifeless and emotionless. And so you really just have to kind of get back into your normal self and kind of cope with that. And to me, that's a great thing, that you are feeling things more strongly. It means the lows are bad and they're terrible and they could be worse than the lows you were experiencing before. But it also means that the highs and the pleasures and the amazing feelings are even better as well. So that's just life, basically.
I think before I started NoFap, I probably cried like once or twice in like the past 5 years. Like, I was not a very emotional person at all. And ever since I started NoFap, crying has become a normal thing for me. And I can almost cry on command. It's weird. It's very strange. I don't know if maybe this is just how I always was and NoFap is exposing that, or, if it's NoFap itself that's making me more emotional like that. I don't know.
So yeah, this is another kind of swing thing. You're swinging too hard in one direction and the other. So you're getting so sad that you can just cry on command and it's so easy. And these things will balance out. It's not like you're going to be an emotional wreck, having mood swings and being angry all the time and just uncontrollable all the time. These things balance out as you learn how to manage these things, and your brain really learns subconsciously how to manage these things, and that is going to happen. So I know exactly what that is. I would watch commercials. I would watch movies that are like comedies that aren't even meant to be sad whatsoever, and I'm just in the corner weeping for some reason, and that is no longer. That goes away. It's truly just your body adjusting to actual normal levels of feeling and emotion. So just find solace in the fact that you're at the normal level right now, and you're feeling these things for how they truly are supposed to feel, and you just are not used to it yet, basically.
The next thing that I've noticed on NoFap is brain fog. Now, this one's kind of weird because at some points on NoFap, I've definitely experienced more clarity than I used to, but I also experience more brain fog than I used to. It's weird.
So this is a phenomenon called Flatline, and what is happening is porn and masturbation have spiked your dopamine so hard, so aggressively over time that your dopamine response, your reward response, has actually had to self-regulate and lower so that you're not overstimulating yourself. And so that means every activity you do in everyday life has a lower reward, which is what explains kind of the dulling sensation of everything in life. Food doesn't taste as good, regular sex isn't as rewarding, and the only way to get back up to normal levels of dopamine is to watch porn. So what happens is now we're in kind of a dopamine deficit for a long time until your body starts to self-regulate back up to normal levels and you start feeling things at normal levels again. That is why the emotions are so wild and they feel crazy, because your brain's kind of getting back in tune to what it could be, because it had diminished everything else, desensitized everything else to account for the crazy stimulation that porn can provide. So because this happens, there is a rewiring period, which all addicts go through. All of them go through a flat line. We just call it withdrawals. And so your flat line is basically your porn withdrawals. It is your brain being cloudy and not being able to think straight because it is lacking this thing that it used to have, and you took it away. And your body and your brain has to cope with that. So sometimes you're super clear, sometimes you're feeling a little bit foggy, and that is just a symptom of, NoFap is a symptom of your recovery. This should not give you pause, it should actually motivate you to keep going, because that is proof that your brain is actually working to correct what you have done over years and years of porn and masturbation. So yes, this is a bad thing that happens. I went through it. I went through pretty awful brain fog for a long time, and it freaked me out. Honestly, it freaked me out when it first happened, because I was thinking, why am I stopping porn if now I'm a moron? if I'm just an idiot and I can't stay awake and I can't focus on anything. I'm thinking, my life was better with porn, so why would I quit? And that is a hard thing to grapple with, but knowing that that is your brain's process of healing, and that is what happens when you're healing, that should be motivation enough to, when you're feeling that brain fog, to push you through any temptations, keep you going on the right track, because you are on the right track.
The next thing that I've noticed on NoFap is that I've become overly ambitious to the point where I became cold.
This is an interesting one, because I felt kind of the same thing, and I kind of do now. Right now, I am doing this YouTube thing, daily uploads on YouTube, which is a lot of work, and I also have a 40-hour-a-week job, my day job, if you will. So it has really enhanced my productivity to an unbelievable rate. Before I had this 40-hour-a-week job, I worked as a personal trainer, and I was a lazy personal trainer. I put in the least amount of effort that I possibly could in order to make a living from it. The fewest hours that I could work, I did. And so after porn, I am working essentially 2 jobs now. And so it does make your productivity increase by a lot. And sometimes that means saying no to social engagements or doing other things. And he says it in this video, but you just have to find balance, and it's something I'm still trying to figure out, balance, how I can balance these 2 things going on. But I'm not unhappy. I'm happier that I'm actually producing things. I get more satisfaction from accomplishing these things, uploading videos every day, doing my job well during the day, and then editing and filming and doing what I think in my metrics I'm doing well at that. So that accomplishment and that feeling of productivity is an amazing feeling, and I wouldn't want the alternative, because the alternative, I felt lazy, I felt apathetic, I felt like a loser, but I didn't have the motivation or the drive to change it. So this one's kind of a perspective thing, and it really just takes balance. Once you figure out that balance, once I figure out that balance, maybe I'll make a video on that. But yeah, it is a true thing. But to me, the coldness, the ambition, that outweighs the negatives. So it's kind of a pros and cons type thing for me, and there are more pros for me than there are cons.
The next con that I've noticed on NoFap is that my standards have changed. My standards have gotten higher and lower at the same time. So I feel like my standards looks-wise have gone down a little bit, but my standards as far as, personality and just everything else have gone up. And it creates a very confusing dynamic for me whenever I'm looking for a girl.
This is another interesting one that I'm not sure that I experienced, and one that I would not call a con at all. I think it's great if you're actually dating someone or seeking a relationship with someone that you actually connect with, that you actually like their personality, and they're not just some sex object basically that is hot, but you're just gonna force it because they're hot and you don't have anything in common. That's gonna lead to worse sex because there's not gonna be that mental connection component to it. And it's just going to make your relationship worse because you don't have someone to talk to. You don't have a friend that you can spend time with and go through life with. And so I don't think this is a con. I think this is actually a pro, that your standards are higher. And I think it's how it should be. Obviously, you shouldn't be dating someone you aren't physically attracted to, but personality is an extremely important thing, and there needs to be that connection. Otherwise, the sex isn't going to be good and the relationship isn't going to be good. So he perceives it as somewhat of a negative. I wouldn't, I don't think. I think it's also a symptom of getting back to your normal self. The physical characteristics of these people that you now find attractive, that your standards have lowered, are people that you had always found attractive and always would have found attractive. It is just that in porn you're seeing fantastical bodies that don't commonly exist in our world, and it has really desensitized you to seeing those things. Social media will do the same thing, and it will do it to yourself, because you will feel like you can't live up to the standards that you see on social media. So it's more of a internet type thing. It is more of a desensitization type thing, the physical attractiveness. But definitely seek relationships with people that you actually care about, that you actually like on a personality level, and your relationship will be 1,000 times better than if they're just a hot body.
Now, the next thing that I've noticed on NoFap is that I've become more competitive. Now, like I said, maybe I was always competitive and I was just kind of suppressing it, but I've definitely noticed that sometimes I turn into a whole different person.
So the competitive thing, that's gonna happen, and that is not a bad thing for me either. Competition creates excellence because you want to be better than someone, so you're gonna strive to be better than someone. If you are going out of your way to compete with people where there is no competition and you're just like destroying everyone and beating everyone down, then it could be a negative. But I think anything that's going to improve your circumstances, that is going to make you strive to be a better version of yourself, I think that is a good thing. I don't think that is a dark side of NoFap. I don't think that's a negative at all. I think anything that motivates you to get out there, be successful in whatever that means to you, and just take control of your life and be better for it, I think these are all great things.
Now, the next thing that I noticed on NoFap is that I get randomly aroused. Okay, that's just the only way to put it.
Again, his last point in the dark side of NoFap is his body coming back to life, basically. Literally coming back to life. His penis is alive again. And So this is a good thing, and this will again go away. It is like almost a second puberty. Your body is like experiencing all these things again, and for some people for the first time. And so there will be that balancing phase where you're swinging left and right and things are happening and you can't really explain them. Some of them feel bad, some of them feel amazing, and you feel like you're out of control. And all this stuff is happening, but these are all good things and they're all signs that you are on the right track. So anyway, that'll do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed my analysis of his video and my explanations as to why these things are happening. Definitely check out his full video because he goes more in depth than what I showed in mine and really kind of discusses his experiences on NoFap and his journey, and it's a good watch, so definitely check it out. Anyway, I hope you learned something. I hope you liked this video. If you did, leave me a like, subscribe if you are new and you want more of this kind of content, and until next time, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.